and always, well, it's developed as into an interesting matchup with you guys. How do you approach a North Hobart game?
Probably exactly the same as we approach every other one. You think with the nature of playing everyone 3 times, you probably have an 8-week break in between playing each other. So the personnel is always different. There's bits and pieces that you've added in your game style over that 8-week period as well. So, we approach it as we approach every other week, look at the vision of their most recent games and get our plans in place, worry about us first, and then have a few things in place, your plans A, Bs and Cs.
Do you feel like you know them better than any other team in the comp, given you've been there with them the last few years?
Probably not. Probably got a little bit of knowledge of some of them through the state academy stuff, more so than being here at North Hobart with them, because they were all coming through the junior club at that stage the last 2 years that I was here before. So if you're doing your job, you review everyone pretty hardly and you get a good knowledge of all the teams as well. So there's a couple of guys you know a little bit of tendencies as well because you've coached them before, but it's probably exactly the same with Vincey there as Bear's head assistant, having a pretty good knowledge of the Tigers guys as well.
You weren't happy after that loss to them, let's be honest. I'm assuming the players weren't happy either. Do you think any of that will be secretly playing or in the back of anyone's mind?
No, I wouldn't have thought so. I think, like I said, you have that 8-week gap in between when you play them again, and the personnel for both teams will be different than what goes out on Saturday. So, you get over it pretty quick. You have to in this competition. We lost to North Hobart. We played North Lonnie the next week up there. So, you've got to fail fast. That's something that we always say. So, I don't think it's not any motivation or anything like that. We prepare for this as we do every week.
Do you feel like you own one for last night?
Whoever we lose to, you owe them one, I guess, at the end of the day. But, that's not any motivation for us this weekend. We just want to come out, continue to build on what we've been doing over the last 6 weeks since that North Hobart game. I wouldn't say it was a turning point, but it was a bit of a catalyst with our standards and our preparation and those sorts of things as well, which have really turned around. You see in that sort of last 6-week block of footy that we've played, it has been pretty decent.
Are you a better team now?
Yeah, I think so. I think, we've changed some things around, we've put some different things in place, and I think every team's a better team as they get towards the back end of the year after they get used to, new players, new structures, different coaches. I think everyone grows over the course of the year. North Hobart are better than they were last time we played them. North Lonnie are getting better every week. Everyone just gets better. You see the change in Lauderdale as well. So, we're definitely a better team.
You've changed the structures quite a bit since probably that day. Almost, and is it a structure change or is it a mental change or is it a little bit of both?
Not so much really a structure change. We probably identified after that game that we'd gone away from what our strengths were, what made us a good team early in the year, and we sort of re-implemented some things, but we also changed a few things around in terms of personnel. It's no secret that we moved Mitch Carter forward, who's been really good for us. But also, we've lost a few players for the year. Obviously, Ryan out for the season, Cooper Swordy's out for the season as well. So those sorts of things that probably forced our hand to bite the bullet and make, especially with Mitch, make that structural change or positional change, so to speak.
Would that stay in place moving deeper into the season? Like you said, it's been a bit of a revelation down forward.
Yeah, we like what Carts does up forward. So, he reads the play well as a backman. He's a really strong intercept mark. So, you're just translating that to the other end of the ground. So, he gives us that option, and his ball use inside 50 is really good. Obviously, his ball use coming out of 50 is elite and probably one of the better ones in the comp. But, kicking into our forwards, and that has given us another look at another dimension.
Have you reached the point where you've set a plan for the last 6 games?
We just want to continually improve. We're looking at our list and what we're doing, and we're going through the process of re-signing guys at the moment, which is really good. Like, everyone's committed and back on for next year. So, and we'll play some guys in some different positions to give them a look. So, guys that might have had jobs down back, we'll bring them up the ground to free them up for a couple of weeks just for their development and look at a few different things. And, our plan's just to get better and be competitive every week and try and win every game that we play.
Which of your key players are unsigned at the moment?
I think as in key players, you'd say I think they are all signed. So Ryan Matthews is recommitted, Marcus Davies is recommitted, Will Campbell, Lockie Clifford, all those sort of key pillars of our team this year have, over the last couple of weeks have put pen to paper, which is really pleasing. It's a good show of faith in where the club's going.
Mitch as well.
Yeah, Mitch is committed for next year. He's got some things with work and whatnot that might see him move away, but if he's in Hobart, he's committed to play here.
Changes this week?
We'll bring in. We get Bailey Gordon and Ollie Burrows-Cheng from state footy from the under-17s who played on Monday. So they'll come in, and Sam Rice is good to go. He was a laid out on Saturday morning, so he'll be back in.
Why was he out?
A bit of calf tightness, so we decided to not risk him. He could have got through the game, but then if he gets injured and misses a month of footy, we'd rather him miss one and then be right for the last 6.
Sure.
That the players look forward to it.
I think as Trent said, every week we look forward to it. I think the Tigers-Demons rivalry will always go on, but we look week by week. I think that stuff that happened early in the pre-season, we've looked at that round one, and I think we've just moved past that. Yeah, the last win was gratifying, but we moved past it. Just look forward as another opportunity for our young players to get another game of footy into them.
Cole played a big part in that win last time, mate. Without him this time, can you still get the job done?
Oh, look, we think so. We think we've looked at the tapes. We think we match up all right. We've obviously got a very young list. We'll probably have our youngest list this week, given a couple of outs. But look, Cole's still around the footy club, so his voice, his leadership is still paramount. So we'll miss Cole as a player, but he'll still be here on Saturday and helping the boys out.
Why have you got so many changes this week? Why are you going to be so young?
We had 9 playing the under-17 state game last Monday, and we've got 6 playing in the 16s game on Monday as well. So we've got the nature of the beast for us. We push all these boys to play state footy, but they just do make for your team to have a lot of changes. Also, one of our senior players, Nathan McCulloch's got a concussion. He's had concussion 2 out of the last 3 games, so he'll have a month off footy just to get himself right. So there are a couple of the major changes, but we can't help what happens with the state program. So we want those kids to have all the opportunity they can. So if they miss a game here and there, then so be it.
Do the 9 come back?
Some will come back in the seniors. Yeah, there's a couple that are doubling up and playing the 16s as well. Yeah.
All right. So how many of the 9 will come in? Do you reckon?
Well, we had the bye last week, so most of them will stay in
Okay.
peps and stuff like that. So we had the bye last week, so there's no effect on us from a match day last week, but the 16s will this week with Sammy Collins, and that will miss.
Sure.
Came against Lauderdale, 42 points, I think the margin was. In retrospect, was that a competitive showing from your place?
Given we were down by 46 points at quarter time, we were really disappointed. We were kicking against a very strong breeze in the first quarter. We had stuff in place to try and negate the goals. It didn't quite happen in the first quarter, and just through following instruction, pretty much was it. So after quarter time, we're really pleased. I mean, we matched with Lauderdale the rest of the game, including 5-0 in the last quarter, which we're really pleased. Against a quality opposition that's playing some really good football at the moment, we're really pleased with that.
Last couple of weeks, heading into the buys, has Bear touched on what he expects from the group in the final games of the season?
I don't think the message has changed. As a footy club, we understand where we're at we've got a very young group, but every week is just an opportunity to get a game of footy into some of these young kids. We will move them around, we'll give them opportunities. Similar to what Trent said, we understand that we're probably not fair chance we're not playing finals this year, so we'll get those young kids in some different positions, open their eyes. I mean, a lot of these kids were playing under 16 footy, some of them last year, now they're playing senior TSL footy. So another game against bigger bodies, they'll just be better for it, by the end of the year, and when we roll around the pre-season next year.
What are your thoughts on the changes that were rolled out by the AFL on Tuesday?
I think they were pretty right. I mean, I know a lot of people cried out for an AFL team, but I think you've got to have the platform to get that right. I reckon if we'd have just put an AFL team in straight away, we would have been probably set up to fail. I think you need to get the correct pathway, so have the stepping stones to get yourself into having an AFL team. And bearing in mind, the AFL team wouldn't be made up of many Tasmanians anyway. There'd be a few Tasmanians if you into that league, but you get a lot of Victorians, South Australians that are playing an AFL team anyway. I think just saying to Coops off air, like how many actual Gold Coast players actually play for the Gold Coast. It's just, and I'd see you could still coexist with the Devils. The Devils would be like your reserves, similar to any other AFL club who has AFL club and has a VFL club as well.
Do you see a way that the changes will actually help state league clubs going forward?
Look, I don't know all the ins and outs of it all. I mean, we leave that to the big brains of the footy club, but I think, bar aside any more funding or anything like that, I think everyone's intentions is they want to make the right choice for the state league. I think it is the best competition in the state, and I think it needs to underpin either a VFL or an AFL side, because I just think there's too much of a gap from the regional footy straight into either VFL or AFL footy.
Do you have aspirations to coach senior footy on your own again?
Yeah, I do. But I'm very happy to be working alongside Bear. I think me and Bear, we really fend off each other really well. We have a lot of the same ideas. Really enjoy my time at North Hobart, and I'm committed to the club as it stands.